Hello, Profit Hackers. I'm Jeremy Lott, the Chief Visionary for Foundation Accounting and Consulting. I owned a construction company for about 15 years before making a change to accounting because my accountants sucked. My goals are to simplify accounting for construction company owners, fuel your profits, level up your cash flow, and help you grow in a financially responsible way. So let's go. Hello, Profit Hackers, and welcome back to the Contractors Profit Hack Show. I'm Jeremy Lott. We're going to talk a little bit more today about bill pay strategy and how to tie it all together with our current situation, right? So I'm going to preface this with a comment I get every time we talk about bill pay strategy. And that comment is, Jeremy, I have all these bills that are due. I've already been paid for the materials or for the sub or whatever that bill was for, right? What do I do about that? The answer is, we'll get to it in a second. First, I want to talk about another wrestling match that I had. You get a lot of wrestling stories. I hope you don't hate wrestling. Anyway, my senior year of high school, my very first match, my senior year of high school, we're wrestling against this rival team, right? And I'd won state the year before, and I was ranked first in state at my weight before the season started. So I was feeling pretty arrogant. So just by that statement alone, you kind of know how the story ends, right? Well, my coach that week decided that I was going to wrestle up a weight because the kid that was in the weight above me was ranked first in state as well. Well, I was really light at the weight that I was wrestling. And so when all was said and done, I was giving up about 20 to 30 pounds on this kid. So, it's not the reason, but it definitely was a factor in the whole thing, right? So we get out there and we start wrestling. And within just a few seconds, I take him down, right? And I had this move that I did. It was just a tight waist and then chop the arm. And I'd get them down on their side. And then when we'd get back up, I'd start working the arm bars and halves and things like that. Anyway, that's irrelevant. The point is that I'd always had a lot of success with this. This had always been the plan, right? And so I took him down, got on top, and then immediately went to my go-to move. Well, this time when I chopped him down, he did this weird thing with his legs and like scissored over the top of me. I'd never had anybody do that. He like scissored over the top of me and got on top. So yeah, I'd taken him down, but then he reversed me right away, right? Well, we continued on like that until about the third period. I was stubborn. I was sticking with my plan. This is what I do, right? And he got ahead of me by a few points, right? So at that moment, I realized I have to change my plan or I'm going to lose this match. So in wrestling, when you're on top, you can do what they call a freestyle start, which means that you just put your hand and you push them away and they stand up and then you're both on your feet, right? And so I decided to start doing this. A takedown was 2 points. An escape was 1 point, right? So I started taking him down. So I'd take him down And then I would immediately, once I got my 2 points, let him up. And he'd get 1 point. So I'd catch up 1 point, right? Now we're back on our feet again, and I have to take him down again and let him up. So I get 2, he gets 1, I catch up 1 point, right? And I continue doing that until the last few seconds of the match where I was ahead of him by 2 points. And we hit the mat, and he did this completely unconventional move. He reached back, grabbed my head. We started to roll through. We rolled right back to our base, which means there's no points. And I popped my head out and right as the buzzer went off, right, to end the match. And the varsity ref for the day hadn't shown up. So the JV ref was filling in, and he was brand new, and he was really nervous, and he didn't know what to do with that scenario. So the match ended, and we're both kind of just sitting there watching the ref, and he looked at it for a second, and finally he just said, 2 points for the other kid. And I was only ahead by 1, I guess. But that 2 points put him ahead of me, and he won the match, right? Well, the funny end to this story is that my father had reffed many years in high school, and he knew the rule book forward and backward. And when they were at my matches, they'd always sit at the very top of the bleachers so they could lean back against the wall behind them, right? And my father made it down those bleacher steps in about 3 steps from top to bottom and ran out on the mat and got right in that guy's face and started yelling at him and told him, pull out your rule book. This exact scenario is a picture in the rule book and a scenario in the rule book. There's no points for this. And he, went on with further logic on the whole scenario. Well, it's never going to go well, right? So they backed my dad off. He went back into the stands. This guy was so new and so scared that he didn't kick my dad out, which is exactly what he should have done, even though my dad was 100% right. But anyway, I lost that match. And it was all because I wouldn't abandon my old strategy, right? With our bills, the old strategy is paying off the oldest bill, paying off the person that screams at us the most, right? Our new strategy now, instead, is to pay when we're paid, and we pay the bills associated with that job that we're paid on, and we are paying the things that are a priority, paying us as the business owners and keeping the company alive, right? Those are all the things that we've been implementing. So what that leaves us is that we now have a scenario where going forward from this point in time, we're going to be implementing that strategy on every payment. But what does that mean? That means that we don't have cash to be able to catch us up. So what we have to do instead is we have to use that profit that we would pay ourselves to catch us up, right? So if I'm setting aside 10% profit on a job for me, for my profit, I still do that. I also go through and I pay all the bills related to the person that paid me. And then I'm going to have to use that profit to make payments on old debt. So you sacrifice at least some of your profit in order to get caught back up, right? So draw a line in the sand. Going forward from this point, this is our strategy, what we've been discussing the last few episodes. Going backward, we're going to have to use the profit that comes in to pay off those old bills and get us caught up, right? Now, it's taken you a while to build up this debt. It's been a long time that you've been operating, paying off the people that scream the most, the oldest bills, those kind of things, right? It's going to take a while to get caught back up. Make sure that you have conversations with your vendors, with your subs, and let them know what you're doing and what your plan is, right? So, draw that line in the sand. Implement this strategy. Use your profit to catch back up. Once you get caught back up, if you continue to maintain this strategy, then you will be protected and your cash flow will be protected. And you won't sit down anymore with a stack of bills and pay until there's zero left in your bank account. You'll always have cash available, right? So thank you very much for having these conversations with me about our bill pay strategy and how to implement these things and how to protect your cash flow and make sure that you get paid and that the business stays alive. So if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a free 15-minute conversation with anybody. So again, this is Jeremy with Foundation Accounting and Consulting, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for listening. If you found this episode helpful, please like and subscribe for weekly episodes to help you fuel your profit, level up your cash flow, and finance your growth. Until next time, go enjoy some green M&Ms and protect that cash.